everyone, it's Ryger here from Ryger Gaming. Welcome to the next episode of Learning to Play City Skylines. In this episode we're going to be adding in a new intercity train station so that we can get some more visitors coming into our city and allow our citizens to easily move and visit other cities as well. So from the last episode I've kind of flattened out this area down here, added in some roads and another bridge across just to give citizens a different way of getting across the river. And we're going to build a new train station in down this area and connect it up to the train tracks which are over here. So if you remember from the last episode we unlocked the train station, so now we can put that in. So if you go to Transport tab, let's go to the train section here. So we want to grab the train station here. Look at, if you notice the circle around the train station, that's the area of noise which is the station will generate. So we don't want it too close to our residential area, so it needs to be reasonably far away. So if we put it over here, we can put some offices along this side over here just to buffer the noise so that we don't get too much noise across to our residential area. So let's stick the train in there. And then we've got our normal train tracks which allows two-way, and then there's also a one-way train track if you wanted for some reason to have one-way tracks for some particular reason, you can do that, but generally you just want to use the normal train tracks. So we want to connect it to our trains over here. You could go directly over the top of these particular highway over here and just do a train over the top. Or you could go underneath the highway and then connect up to there, whichever way you want to do it. So let me show you both ways just in case you're not too sure how to do it. So if we just drag a bit across here just to give it somewhere level, and then in the next step if we drag across and then hit the page up key, that will allow it to go up a certain distance. Then we can go straight across. So sometimes it won't let you do it because of the placement of the pillars and so on. So we might just need to do that a little bit manually. There we go, you can see that connects up to there, and then we can just connect that to there. And then we can go across and connect up to here. So let's curve it around a little bit. Cool. So you can't just do a right angle turn because trains are quite long and they can't do a right angle turn, right? So you have to kind of curve it around a little bit, which is what we would need to do. So let's do that. So we actually want to bring this down. So okay, actually if we just delete this part here, and then we can just bring it down to ground level. So just get page down. Sweet, and then we can curve it around. This isn't going to look particularly good. Alright, we can connect it like that. Sweet. So that's one way of doing it. I don't particularly like that, having to curve it around. That curve is really tight. And also, if you don't leave enough room for a whole train, if there's a train coming this way and a train coming this way at exactly the same time, this train is likely to have to give way to this train over here. And if its carriages spill out this way, then other trains that want to go straight through have to wait for this train to go past, so that's not very good. So we want to make sure that they have lots of room to be able to wait if required. Alright, so I prefer to go underneath the highway here and then we'll just curve it around. So what we want to do is grab a train track and then just kind of go underneath the highway here. Oops, we're on a straight track. Sweet. Now you can see that there's probably not enough room underneath the highway bridge here. I mean, there probably is, maybe. You can see the wires just going underneath the bridge. But just to be safe, we want to make those tracks go down into the ground. So we can use our trusty Move It mod, which I discussed in one of the earlier videos. So we just select the two nodes, use the page down key to make it go down. So let's have a look. That's pretty good. Yep, that looks like it's gone underneath quite well. And then if we just do a straight track up to here, that'll come up to the normal ground level. And we can do the same thing over here a little bit as well. Sweet. Alright, so now we want to connect this end to the tracks up here. We can bring it up a little bit further. And then, even if you use the straight track, when you connect over to here, it will curve it a little bit for you, which is kind of cool. So probably that's a nice curve there. And then from here, we can connect to that one. Yeah, that kind of looks symmetrical. So you can see that now we've got lots of room in here for a train that has to wait. So that's not going to interfere with any trains that are going straight on, which is exactly what we want. Alright, so when you do connect up to a train track like this, make sure you've got lots of room here to allow for a whole train to be waiting. Sweet! So then we want to run a track across here. So let's do it from this position all the way across to there, and then we'll just curve that around. Sweet. And then if we get rid of this, and then we can just curve that around to there. So I might just bring this up a little bit. And then we'll put in our curve. Sweet, so there we go. So you don't want anything that's too tight for bends because trains need to go around it. But otherwise, you know, you can do whatever you want, be as creative as you want. There's no one right or wrong way to connect it. So we can start that going, and then hopefully we'll start to see some trains appear eventually. So if you click on your terminal, you can see that Allow Intercity Trains has been selected. That means that it will allow trains from other cities. If you turn that off, it means the station is just for your local city rail network. But at this stage we want to leave that on, obviously. So we need to give this some power, so let's put some power in, and we probably need to put some water as well. And oh no, already got some water pipes there, excellent, so that's already there, that's awesome. Alright, so we'll start to see some trains come in. Now, at the moment, citizens will either have to walk to where they want to go or pull out their pocket car and drive to where they want to go, because I don't have any bus lines in here. There's no bus lines that go from here to over this side of the city. So we could use buses, but it actually probably makes more sense to use a metro system. So we can have a metro that links to this side of the city and a metro that will cover the citizens in this area here. And then what I want to do is build up all of this area kind of as a touristy area with offices and eventually skyscrapers and stuff like that when we get to that stage. Alright, so we want to build a metro line. So I want a metro station that goes from here to this side of the city, and another metro station on the other side of the road that will connect up to all of the citizens in this area. Alright, so let's put in our first metro station. So I might as well put it right next to the train station so that people can just walk from the train station into the metro. Sweet, and then we'll put another metro station directly opposite to that. There. Sweet. Alright, so we need to create a bridge across the road so that our citizens can, or tourists, can walk from one metro station to the other one. So let's use our automatic pedestrian bridge builder mod. So just click on that and we'll build one about there. There we go. So if we kind of zoom into that, you can see it's nicely connected up and people can walk across. Excellent. So we've got that. Now we just need to set up the metro lines to connect from here over to this side of the city and also over here. So I'll go and do that and speed that up for you. Alright, so what we need to do is start to build our metro connection. So we're going to build one metro connection from here over to this side, and we need to get the metro across the river. So generally the metro is underground, but you can still go overground if required. So let's build our metro line here. So let's bring it out to about there. Then we want to bring it above ground, so we'll just go page up, and you can see that it's now at ground level, so it comes up. Then we kind of want to curve it around over to that side, so we can do that with the curve tool. Kind of like that. And then we want to bring it underground, and we want to have a metro station over here. Actually, let's put in the metro station first. So we'll put it about there. And we'll bring this out. Let's get a straight one. And then we use the curve tool. Let's go underground first. Sweet, and then just curve it around. Let's bring that back a bit. There we go, so that connects up those two sides. Awesome, and we'll fix up the power lines in a minute. Should we better fix that up now, otherwise our citizens will be complaining. Just need to take a bit of a detour. Excellent. Alright, so what we need to do now is add in the stop for the existing metro line, which is over here. So we want to add in a stop over here, so let's do that right there. Sweet, and we'll just pause it, and then we just need to connect our metro lines up here. Cool, and if we go to our lines, we just want to fix that up. So we just click, where's it gone? Click there to fix that one up. Just click and drag, and then click and drag. There we go, so that fixes that line up, and then we need to create a line from here to our train station. And connect that back out to there, and we'll fix the colours and things up later on. So there we go, so now we've got a metro station that will go across to the other side of the river. Excellent. And then we want a metro line to cover all of this area, so I will go through and do that. Alright, so there we go, we've got our ring metro system around all of this area, and then we've got our connection from this train station to over here, and then they can transfer onto this line, they can transfer onto this line depending on where they want to go, and we just need to create some bus lines in here which will take people to the relevant areas. Whoops, looks like we need some more power. Maybe we can put the budget up. Let's weight that up to 150%. Is that going to be enough? Not quite. Oh no, there we go. Sweet, it's ticked over. Excellent. Alright, so that's done. So we just need to put in our bus lines so that we can funnel people into the metro stations and the train station. Alright, so I've got I've got my two bus lines, so people can walk from this area to any of the bus stops that they need to. I don't think you really need any bus stops in here, but it's up to you. You could decide however you want to do it. If we find it's not enough, we can add some more stops in later on. Sweet, so if we click on our bus station, we're getting 100 passengers per week. We can increase that by putting in some touristy things for them to do. So another thing that you might not have come across is the unique buildings. If you go to this tab here, unique buildings, and it shows you what the different things that you've unlocked. So you can only put one of these in your particular city, so you have to do certain things. So we don't want government offices, that's really boring. We've got a winter market, so we could add that in. That's quite big, but that would look pretty cool. We also have a department store. That is also pretty big, but that would kind of be kind of cool by the train station, right? So let's whack that in. So that cost us $150,000. It took up quite a bit of our budget there, our money that we've got, but that looks pretty cool, right? Awesome. And then we can do a bit of detailing and stuff later on if we want to, but I'm not going to bother at this stage. So that will help bring more tourists into the city. So you can see we're starting to get multiple trains coming in and out, people getting in. So you can see, look at all these people using our cool metro system and our train station. So you can see that everyone's going on to the bus. Not many people are pulling out pocket cars. There's one or two that are producing their own pocket car, but most people are either walking or taking the public transport, which is exactly what we want to see. So by adding more tourist attractions for your unique buildings and so on, that will give you more passengers coming into your city, which is kind of cool. So if we go to where is it, the tourism overview, so if you go to that, it will show you the attractiveness for your city. So you can see all the purple areas are kind of the places where tourists will be attracted to, that there's lots of tourists in those areas. So at the moment our city attractiveness is only 15%, because the only thing we've got to attract people is our department store, but that will increase later on as well. Now we could take our train line in and make another station over here somewhere, but I don't think it's really warranted because we've got a fully functioning metro system, so people can get off the train, get onto the metro and go to where they want to go. I've also filled up this area with more residential because we need that to keep our city growing, which is excellent. And you can see that we've got a demand for industry, so we can put some offices in here just to buffer the noise from the train station. So what we can do, use the marquee tool, just go all the way across there, and we can get some cool office buildings up here. Sweet, so those are building up nicely. Just remember, you need lots of educated citizens if you're building lots of offices and so on. But they look really cool. So it's starting to look really nice in our built up area of our city. Alright, so that's the basics of adding in a train station. Nothing hugely things to worry about, but you do want to connect your train station up to good public transport to stop people just pulling out their pocket cars. We want them to use public transport as much as possible. So having good metro systems close to your train stations and also buses as well would be excellent too. Alright, you can hear all the bings as all of our buildings and that are getting upgraded because they've got good services and things, which is excellent. So that's all good to see as well. Alright, well, that's it for this particular episode. We've added in our train station. In the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to add a new interchange on this side to allow people to get off the highway and come into our city from this area, because at the moment they have to go all the way around over to here and then go across the bridge if they want to get into this section. So this will be a nice shortcut. So we're going to look at a new service interchange and how we can add that in. So that will be an interesting video for you to watch. We're going to use what's called a DCMI, or a double crossover merging interchange. If you've never heard of that before, then you want to watch the next video. Right, that's it for this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you're welcome to give it a thumbs down. If you like my content, please subscribe, as it just means that the YouTube algorithm will notice my content a bit easier and more people will get to see it, hopefully. Well, that's it for this episode. Hopefully I will catch you in the next episode.